Welcome back to episode 4 of Sounds Like a You Problem. Today we're going to dive into how to trust yourself and why that's important, why we need to do it. We've got a few things to go over first. I have a Red Bull here. Yeah, I'm going to be sipping on a Red Bull because I'm getting my nephew later tonight. We have some Halloween activities planned because I'm the fun aunt, you know? No, but seriously, I take my role as an aunt very, very seriously, and I'm excited. We have some Shrinkadinks and some fun little Halloween paintings, and I'm gonna need the energy. He's 2.5, okay? And Aunt Zizi has a popcorn machine. So, little baby Dino loves his popcorn, loves his pizza. Anyway, I'm excited for that. It's always a good day when my nephew's coming over, and I want to talk to you guys today about trusting yourself because this was something I didn't even realize that I struggled with until I heard it being talked about. And it's not necessarily something you'll say like in your daily life. You're not thinking like, do I trust myself? And I want to talk about how we need to bring that to the forefront of our minds. Like I feel like it needs to be talked about because I didn't even realize again until I heard it that I would have had a problem with it. And it can benefit you in so many ways to learn how to trust yourself because you will show up for yourself. And honestly, it's cliche, but you cannot show up for anyone unless you're showing up for yourself. And it's really, really sad life to live if you're showing up for others and not for yourself. So this is the ultimate hack to become confident, okay, and succeed in the missions that you want to succeed in and or attempt in life. And the most basic way that I can put this to you guys is like if you tell yourself you're going to read a book this month or you're going to read a chapter tonight and then you don't, okay? So you have this book you want to read, you buy the book, you get the book, and you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to read a chapter every night. And then one night you're super, super tired and you just put it off and put it off, knowing that you told yourself that you were going to do it, and you get in bed and think, I'm just not going to do it tonight. Right there, you're making a super detrimental decision. It feels like a small one and it feels like no big deal, but you have then broken a promise to yourself essentially. You've told yourself you're going to do something and then you did not follow through. So then that backs up proof in your brain for yourself that you're not holding yourself accountable, so you can't trust yourself. That you can say anything you want in your mind, but you're not going to follow through in actions throughout your daily life. So then you start to lose that integrity within being able to tell yourself things and holding yourself accountable, which is ultimately how you set yourself up for success. And when we're talking about promises we're going to make to ourselves, you got to start small and then that will start accumulating and become easier for you to get to bigger goals. So I'm not going to promise myself today, okay, that I'm going to read that book that I bought in a week because that is not a habit that I have. It's not a daily habit that I partake in. It's not something, it's new to my routine. It's going to take some time to implement and put it in. So you need to set yourself up for a successful way to build trust. So basically start small, right? We want to start very small. I will read a page a week, a page a night. Whatever you really feel like is less than capable. If you're less than capable of doing it, set yourself up and tell yourself that first, and then you can build up once that confidence and trust is being built up within you. And this is so important because if you are not trusting yourself, it's going to negatively impact you. You're going to be insecure, you're going to trust no one and no thing because everything is going to weigh on you heavily. And eventually it's going to break you down because you can't confide in yourself and trust what you're capable of. And that's lonely, it's isolating, it's sad, and even if you're introverted, I promise that you will crave to feel trust within yourself. You especially if you're introverted are going to crave to feel trust within yourself because you're not seeking that from others and you don't desire to seek that from others. So if your desire is to mostly be with yourself and that's where you're most comfortable, why wouldn't you take the time to make the person you're most comfortable with the most trustworthy person you know? I mean, if you're not doing that, that's a you problem. And we're going to fix that, okay? So I already told you how I started to fix it, and that was by making very small, obtainable promises to myself and holding myself accountable and following through on that. And it has helped me create so many habits and routines in my life, okay? And starting small is great. If you feel like you can start bigger, go big. But just don't set yourself up for failure, because that's going to ultimately like backtrack the work that we're trying to do right now. So make sure that, if you do promise yourself something big, that make it happen. Make it happen, because we don't want to step back, and if you do break that promise, if you do make too big of a promise to yourself and you're not able to fulfill it, you gotta just accept it, face it, and correct it. Okay? Just be like, gosh dang it. Daisy told me that this was going to negatively impact me if I didn't do this, and here I am not doing this. Give yourself some grace. Just be like, okay, we're going to start smaller. That was too big of a chunk. Clearly, I've got a lot on my plate. Let's see another way that we can start building up this confidence within myself. It also will help you genuinely show up more confident in every room that you're in. It will help you show up more confident at your job if you're like, I'm always going to be on time. If you're scheduled for a shift and you work at the same time every single day, and you wake up at the same time every single day, and you do the same thing every single day before you get to work, but you're always late, then you know you need to set your alarm 10 minutes earlier. And when that alarm goes off, you need to get out of the damn bed, right? Like, because, I mean, that's a pet peeve of mine. It's not necessarily that being late is a pet peeve of mine. It's that people who are on the same schedule all the time, who are continuously late, drives me nuts. Because you are not showing up for people that are depending on you. You're not holding yourself accountable. Like, what are you doing? Get it together. Set your alarm earlier. Get your ass out of bed earlier and show up to work on time. Like, integrity. Have some of it, please. It's also a lot less dangerous because I'm not on the road with people driving 80 miles an hour to get to work late, like they always are. Again, accidents happen and things happen and life happens, and we can give ourselves grace and some room for that. But that's not what we're discussing in this episode, okay? And if you see me looking away from the monitor, I have a bunch of notes here in front of me because I have a lot to say about trusting myself and how it has changed and improved my life. And I want to make sure that I don't forget any of these things. So we need to do this with our best interest in mind when we're making promises to ourselves. They need to be something that's conducive to a healthy and or healthier lifestyle, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. Like, obviously reading a book is healthy. Getting to work on time shows your character and how you show up for yourself. Because if you can't show up for others on time, you're not showing up for yourself on time. And that just leads to really bad habits, guys. And it leads to, instead of progression, regression. And whatever it is you're trying to do. And we want to have goals. We want to make choices that empower us. And we want to have opportunities be given to us. But we can't have that if we can't show up, right? So once you trust yourself, you're able to make so many changes in your life and do it with pure confidence because you know that you can trust yourself. And then again, you'll be able to make it bigger and better throughout all areas of your life. And it's such a freeing feeling to be able to know you can always rely on yourself, and you need that confidence and to have that sense of peace within your life and your mind. You are deserving of that. We are all deserving of that, and the only ones that can give it to us is us. So again, don't be the victim here. Don't think that this is something you're not capable of. Let's start small. Let's also start with awareness, which is why I'm bringing this episode to you, right? Let's seek out some self-help. And if you're listening to this self-help, self-improvement podcast, I would assume that you have some desire to see some positive changes in your life. And this really was a big one for me. Like, it changed the game for so many things. Like, every self-help book you read is going to tell you, or every millionaire that tells you how they became a millionaire is going to tell you that it's because they made their bed in the morning. When I tell you, making their bed every single morning did not make them a millionaire. And some of us get up earlier before our partners. Some of us just don't desire to make our bed. Some of us are living in and sleeping in arrangements where that's just not conducive to actually getting to where we want to go. It's like, I don't have time to make this bed. I need to go let my dogs out and let them have as much outside time as they can have before I go into work there are priorities, right? And there's a prioritization list. And so what I'm saying is that what works for others may not work for some. So you might not carve out time to read a book. You might carve out time earlier in the morning to make yourself a smoothie because it's your favorite breakfast. It's easy to drink and to eat before breakfast, and it's going to get you a lot of your nutrients in. But it's kind of a chore to make smoothies, right? So you're going to need more time for that. And if you tell yourself, oh, I'd really like to have a smoothie in the morning and I'd really like to make it for myself, but I just never do because I don't have enough time. Make the time. Make the promise to yourself. Start small, and then boom, that's a healthier lifestyle decision because you're already going to be fed. You're going to feel better at work. You're not going to go spend money at Smoothie King or whatever it is just to enjoy and indulge in that smoothie. And we are allowed to have indulgences. We are allowed to still treat ourselves. But you cannot just continue to always treat yourself and always have these indulgences. You have to have some sort of self-discipline, okay? Because once you're an adult, no one is disciplining you but you, or maybe the government or the state that you live in, depending on your actions and choices. However, the whole point of that is to say that whatever it is, whatever decision or small promise you're making to yourself to start building up this trust within yourself, make sure that overall it's like a healthy or healthier or positive choice. Obviously, we don't want to make time to go see that ex that we're not going to promise ourselves we're going to go see that ex that we obviously are not with for a reason because they continuously have toxic behavior, like, and you've just been putting it off. We're not going to make promises for negative things or that aren't going to empower us or bring us forward and closer to the life that we ultimately want to live, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So whatever problem you're facing, whether it's being late all the time or, you want to consume material before bed that helps you sleep better and maybe educates you and maybe like informs you of something that you have an interest of in your personal life, then do that. Do that for yourself, and yourself will thank you so, so much, I promise. And I was able to do this with a lot of things, a lot of routines. I always get out of bed. I always film. I always hold myself accountable that I will post every single day. And now it's just become a habit. Eventually, it will become a habit, a routine, something that you aren't dreading. And you might not necessarily look forward to it, but it's just muscle memory at that point. Like, you're just doing it. And it's exciting to look back on all the change that you've made and realize, like, wow, I'm constantly making changes and improvement in my life. And I'm a totally different version of myself than I was 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. And that will give you so much confidence. And I have a whole other, I could go so far deep into confidence and how to have confidence and how to build it and gain it and all of that. If you guys want an episode on that, let me know. But yeah, you gotta trust yourself and you gotta start small, okay, guys? And I think that you will see improvements with family relationships, platonic relationships, romantic relationships. I think that you will see results all around business relationships. Like, you, by doing this and trusting yourself, it will literally positively impact every single aspect of your life, from your sleeping habits to your eating habits to your I don't know how to phrase this, but any type of relationship you have at all, which I just already went through. Um, it just ultimately is. I gotta find a new word. I cannot keep saying ultimately because I'm driving myself nuts, y'all. Um, Overall, ultimately, in the end, conclusion, the end goal is to be a better version of yourself. And instilling trust in yourself is such a beautiful, rewarding thing. And like I said, it genuinely will impact every single aspect of your life for the better. So try it out, try to be consistent. It will also help you create good habits, good routines, things like that. Have stability in your life if that's something that you crave. You are capable of doing that. You are deserving of that, especially if that was never given to you when you were a child, and you have to prove to yourself that you're capable of it, and it will give you the most confidence. And I really believe that this is the epitome, like the meat and potatoes of changing your life and being that aesthetic girly or clean girl or macho workout man or whatever it may be. Like, this is the ultimate way to build up to that. I still, to this day, am trying to get to a point where I go to the gym all the time. I've actually went twice in the year and a half I've had a membership. I know. Um, I'm ripped, okay? No. Hard for me to convince myself to go to the gym because I genuinely don't need to, except that I know that it will be good for my health and I know that it will make me feel good, right? And I know and I see that so many people become addicted to it and it just makes them feel so much better about their body, about their habits, about their lifestyle, about their health overall. And I feel like the younger you start a habit, the better off you are at keeping it, right? And the longer you do it, of course, better, the more results you're going to get. And that's still something I am working on because I think about it all the time and I still don't make that promise to myself because I know I won't follow through on it and I need to. So I'm calling myself out here on my own bullshit. I have created a bunch of habits, but I took a lot of steps where I went and got a membership. I went and worked out with a friend twice. I go and tan in a tanning bed, which you absolutely should not be doing, and I'm not suggesting you should tan in a tanning bed. It's just I do. So don't approve of it. Don't condone it. Do what do what I say, not what I do. Kind of vibes here. So I'm in the area. I'm in the vicinity of where the workout equipment is, but I just cannot get over what do I wear? How do I start? People are going to laugh at me, make fun of me, and I want to weightlift. I don't want to work on the machines where the old people are. I want to be in the corner, but there's just like the big buff guys and like the pretty matching set girlies over there, and it's just intimidating. And I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there, and you guys are gonna be along for the journey. And I'm excited to tell you about the day, time, and point and place in which I get to the gym. So if you're watching this on YouTube, leave me a comment and tell me I asked to go to the gym. And if you're listening on any podcast streaming service, all I ask is that you pretty please leave me a 5-star review. It'd be cool if you followed me. It'd be cool if you rang the bell. But getting those reviews really helps this message to get out to other people. Like, it supports my daydream, nonetheless. It supports my daydream. It makes me feel seen. It makes me feel heard. It makes all the hard work seem worth it with as many avenues and jobs as I'm doing at the moment. Trying to still fit this in twice a week. I appreciate it. It really fuels my fire. But by rating it or following it or commenting on the YouTube, you also help push this to the algorithm for more people to see it, which is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is for more people to hear and see these messages. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed episode 3, and I can't wait to film episode 5. And if you can't trust yourself and you are not willing to put in the work to figure out how to do that to gain confidence and change every aspect of your life positively, sounds like a you problem.